Set the boundaries. So Preeti taught us, right? Now let's talk about relationship and the role of self-worth in relationships. Before that, let me ask you a question. You give all of yourself, सब कुछ कर दिया जो कर सकते थे, and still सामने वालों ने value नहीं की. Have you ever felt that? You shrink yourself so that somebody else could be comfortable. Have you done it? You walked on the eggshells, but still felt unloved, unseen, and nobody bothered. Has it happened with you? All of us, we all have been there. But let me tell you a radical truth. You feeling invisible, feeling unloved, unheard, it's not about them, it's about you. It's not about them, it's about you. It's a mirror of your self worth. If you feel invisible, unseen, unloved, it doesn't depend upon your kids, your spouse, the environment, how your in laws are treating you, how your toxic boss is. It has to do with you. The bitter truth that you are not ready to face, you stopped setting the boundaries. You abandoned your own self worth years ago. You yourself, nobody else. You abandoned your own self worth by shrinking in the places where you're meant to take space. By prioritizing others, you trained them to treat you that way. They asked you, "What do you need?" And you said, "I'll adjust." You tried to be convenient to them. They asked you again, "What will you eat?" And you said, "What you will eat." And eventually they stopped asking you. And now you wonder why they don't ask me. You trained them. The same thing with your kids. They see all of their life, seeing you adjusting. What they want, you will adapt to it. They learned that our needs are more important. You never even conveyed that my needs matter. You silently kept expecting, and then it turned into bitterness. You never conveyed it up front that I also have needs. And maybe it wasn't a big deal at that time. For one day, if you're asking what will your husband eat, you cook that. Next day, you tell, "Beta, आज बच्चे की मर्जी का बनेगा." Did you ever say, "आज मम्मी की मर्जी का बनेगा"? You never said that. If you would have made it the norm, nobody would have felt it like a big thing. It would have been the new norm in the family, right? But at that time, what you chose was to prioritize them, to make them feel important. It was in the little decisions where you showed them that you deserve less importance. Let me show you a visual. Close your eyes for a moment. On a scale of 1 to 10, how valuable do you feel right now? Drop in the comments or just keep it in your mind. Take a deep breath. Now close your eyes again. Imagine you addressed your best. You are completely confident. You command the room. You ask what you need. You demand what you desire. Your aura is magnetic. Everybody wants to be around you. Everybody appreciates your work. People want to talk to you. Your partner chases you. Your personality is magnetic. People want to learn from you. You smell like the breeze of air. You walk through the room like you're the life of it. You light the places wherever you go. You are the charm of everybody's eyes. Now come back to me. Open your eyes and tell me, how do you feel right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, tell me what is the rate? How do you feel right now? How valuable you are? Was there a shift? Let me check the room. There are no more new people. Did your partner come here? Or the people that always make you feel small? They don't value you. Who came here? It was just an inner shift. That is the power of self worth. It changes the lens through which you see your relationships. Your self worth defines your relationships. Your relationships don't define that. When you value yourself, you set your standards high. Either people rise to meet you or they fall off, and both are a gift for you. Now, when you love yourself, you behave in a way that people have to step up, right? Now, put one hand on your heart and repeat after me. I am worthy of love, respect, and joy. I am worthy of love, respect, and joy. You can unmute. I think the collective energy would make us feel much better. Let's unmute. Charu and Sonu, if you can unmute too, please. I am worthy of love, respect, and joy. I am worthy of love, respect, and joy. I am my biggest priority.
I am
a biggest priority.
I am my biggest priority. Feel it in your body. Speak it loud. I am my biggest priority. I am the creator of my life.
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 Every ounce of your body. I am the creator
of my life. I am the creator of my life.
How does it feel now?
Good.
Beautiful.
See, you decide how you feel. It's all inside. The inner shift is what you need. While you're waiting for others to change, all that needs to change is your inner state. Once you change it, everything will change. Relationships are not about how they see you, it's all about how you see yourself. If you see yourself with utmost integrity that you deserve the best, जब आप खुद की वैल्यू करते हो ना तो दुनिया को करनी पड़ती है, even if they don't want to. You teach them. Self-worth is not built in a day. It's built in the little decisions. When you choose to take up space. When people ask for your opinions, don't try to be convenient. You don't have to take a stick and go like मैं तो क्रांतिकारी हूँ, मुझे अपना हक चाहिए, I want this. You don't do that. It's in the little things. When people are having a talk at the family table, you just keep your opinion rather than taking back that, oh, I don't speak. Maybe they'll not like. You take up space for yourself. When you are at work, you ask for the leadership roles. You ask to be upfront. What we usually do, we make it and ask others to present it. With the kids, we tell them, you are important. Beta, papa aayenge na, to papa will decide it. Put it in the mind of your child that mama, papa will tell you, we will decide. We create the image in the mind of the child that papa is the ultimate decision maker. But the truth is, papa's decision is decided by mummy. Papa is just like that puppet कि बच्चे को डरा के रखना है. But somewhere you're doing more damage to yourself by showing them कि papa will decide it. So when you're actually working as a team, why are we creating that false image, right? So I want to hear from you now. What did you learn today? Was there an aha moment? You have any questions? The panel is here for you. Make sure you just ask your questions right here, right now. You would be having the questions. Don't hesitate. If you feel uncomfortable to unmute, just drop it in the chat box. The panel is here to help you. Thank you.
Hi, ladies. Thank you very much for the useful talk. Really appreciate it. Sometimes, you just feel like this came at the right time because sometimes in life you go through phases and it just puts doubts in your head. So this came at a very right time. And I really appreciate it, especially the last bit when you said that, when you know, but you're not putting yourself first. And that insight sometimes when someone puts it right flat out in words, it helps. So I'll definitely use it in coming weeks. Thank you so much.
We are glad that we could help you. If you have any questions, you can just ask.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for staying for so long and being a wonderful audience. Thank you.
Preeti, can you just share how to set the boundaries? I think the call got disconnected at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can see the screen. How to say no? Yeah.
How to say no? Yes, this is the crucial part. We feel सामने वाले को मना करना ही सबसे ज्यादा मुश्किल लगता है. खुद को we don't care about our own feelings. That's the crux of it. So we don't care how we feel and what state of mind we are, whether or what we are willing or not. But we override our own feelings just to please others. That's why it's crucial to be able to say no. And it is absolutely easy if you just get the hang of it. It's like building a muscle. It's they say after the age of 30, muscles start to atrophy. And saying no is an atrophied muscle. So we build it gradually with strength training, and that is by putting boundaries in every single day scenarios and daily scenarios and small things. Like you can let your children know not to disturb you while it's your me time. Like you can let your spouse know that this is your time for work or your own personal time, and you cannot make time for his friends or a social outing. For example, I'm all set to get in bed in my night suit with a nice book, with a nice warm milk of a cup of milk by my bedside, ready to read myself to bed. And just then I get a call of people saying, let's go out. Let's go out. Let's just go out for a night ride, for a long drive. And how about you're like, not today. I don't feel like at all. But then you also have the peer pressure and FOMO. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to give in to the FOMO, get out, get ready, and join them? Or would you respect your feelings and say, thank you for the invite, but not tonight? I'm not available. So, there are very everyday scenarios can be if you can come up with some scenario that you are facing where you're facing difficulties saying no, and if you can share that with me, I can help you with that. I'm just giving you a random example here so you get an idea. Any questions, anyone? Would somebody like to share something? Anywhere you are facing difficulties saying no at work, at home?
I think saying no is difficult. It's sometimes, you feel obliged कि नहीं यार हाँ तो बोलना ही पड़ेगा, even if it's your friends or your family, um, you have to learn to practice it. Again, it comes by practice. I'm sure, but saying no to sometimes to your in-laws, you feel like कि you know because we have been taught कि हाँ उन्होंने जो भी बोला है whatever बोला है, and you cannot just say no कि okay I am doing my work, or या मेरे काम का है, or I'm doing with family, or I'm tired. You are not taught to say that. So that's where you feel, even if you say it, so you feel guilty afterwards. So that is sometimes I always feel key, how to say no to older people, how to make them understand.
So, Charu, what makes you think that you saying no would hurt them? Would you like to share? You can unmute yourself or you can type in the chat box.
It's just because I'm quite straightforward. I don't have too many frills. I'm not very diplomatic, and that is my biggest challenge in life. That I am what I am, and it lands me in trouble more than I'd like to. So my problem is actually other way around. I do have boundaries. I have my guards up most of the time, But sometimes the way I present it is not the nicest way. So I'd like to learn the art of that. How do I do that?
First of all, congratulations, Charu, for being able to set boundaries. And so here I find somebody for the first time who is guilty to have boundaries. That's amazing. I'm actually, it's actually an achievement in itself to be able to set those boundaries. However, it's not just because you have this awareness about yourself that you are straightforward and you're not able to diplomatically turn people down. The moment you have boundaries, people are not going to like it because everybody likes to have a doormat. So either you've always had boundaries or you've just established new ones very recently. You are going to end up uh, raising eyebrows, maybe, or displeasing people. But what's important is to know that it's high time we start pleasing ourselves. We are not here to please everyone. We can never please, and nobody can be happy all the time, and it is not our job to make others happy. I think finally it's time for us to recognize that we have to be happy ourselves, and whatever it takes, I'll do that, and I don't care how others feel. I'm at that stage right now. Maybe my fellow coaches can pitch in. And
I think you're so right in saying that, and even what Charu said, that there is art of saying no. So again, it comes to practice, that you learn to say no, and slowly. But I personally, in my journey, I always feel that when you start saying no, which has helped me, that the people you don't need in your life, they automatically just move away. That's the best part, which I have understood. That yes, because we have not been taught, we've been taught to कि इसको भी ऐसे रखो, इसको भी रखो, इसको भी रखो, सब चीजों को रखो, because we've seen our mothers doing that as a default setting. We don't know anything better than that.
yeah,
We always know what we have seen. We don't know anything which we have not seen. So for us to do, it's again a fear of unknown. So हम जब वो कर रहे हैं कि अच्छा ये भी हो जाएगा, अच्छा ये होगा, अच्छा वो मेरे से नहीं बोलेगा तो फिर मेरे को ये भी मेरे को बोलेगा, वो मेरे को बोलेगा, then your mom will tell कि ये तू उससे बात नहीं कर रही, ये तू ये नहीं कर रही. So you just have to learn to say, to know, and absolutely then the God comes in with his intervention. The higher power tells you कि भाई इसकी तेरे को जरूरत नहीं है. Move them out of the way, and don't feel guilty because they were not meant for you.
Right. And just adding to what Paneet said, I think, the first time when you say no, it goes as a setback for the person in front of you. But thereon and from therefore, if they are to be a part of your journey, they understand it. Because I think वो first shocker लगता है कि अच्छा इसने मुझे आज ना बोला. I think it happens after marriage, no? पहली बार में जब शायद आप अपने in-laws को या किसी भी relation में at your office, the first time when you say no, right? They feel कि अच्छा she can say no also. But then they understand कि okay, she is capable or he is capable of saying no when it comes to setting the boundaries कि इससे आगे don't step into my domain. So if we just think it from one instant, it might be difficult for us to understand how would people take it. But if you understand it at a longer run, I think it is expectation setting from my side. That आज मैंने ये किया है तो समझ जाओ आगे से भी ऐसे ही होगा. So somewhere or the other we put our foot down. So that's how I think we can take it.
and it is so interesting that Charu has brought this up because now we have this scenario where somebody is feeling guilty to be able to set boundaries, and we are actually talking about how to set boundaries without guilt. And here's somebody who's got boundaries and now is feeling guilt.
What I feel is that somewhere she has associated setting boundaries as mean or selfish, what we have heard from the world. So she does it for herself once and then she realizes, oh, the world is going to judge me. They'll call me, she's mean, she's rude. Right? So, because it's another thing that we are trying it firsthand. We never saw our mothers doing it or nobody else doing it. So we are still like, okay, does it work? It doesn't work. So we have to be firm, but we have to be polite. What I feel we can do is make it a win-win for both. What we do is we convey our boundaries like statements. I'm not going to do this. explain, if the relationship matters to you, explain it bit politely, that if I do this, my routine will be disturbed and I'll not be able to be, fresh in the morning. If it's about, like you were saying about night routine, so you can simply convey, I would love to, but if I will come now, my morning routine will be disturbed, so that other person gets an understanding and doesn't feel like you मुंह पे थप्पड़ मार दिया. Sometimes we do it because we are still learning. वो एकदम से गुस्से में we say it like कि सामने वाले की ego पे लग जाता है. When we make it clear for both of us that it's serving both of us, है ना? When I'll be in a good mood in the morning, so we will both be happy with it. So भी आपको भी resentment नहीं होगा और मुझे भी नहीं होगा.
I think for
Exactly,
us it's
Vaishali.
very we are that generation जहाँ पे हमने अपने parents को एक different set of rules में देखा है, and suddenly, especially people like me and obviously like Charu who are living abroad, we are brought up in a very different situations, and when we see our children who are born here and they are so quick in setting their boundaries, they are so straightforward, and you think कि ये सुनते ही नहीं है. So we've seen parents doing something, kids, they're very clear in their boundaries, which is good. And so adapting to thinking कि अच्छा parents ये, बच्चे ये, and you are the one who are stuck in between. But I've always realized that once you set your boundaries, and again, I'm not saying, be rude. You have to be in the right manner. You say it, whatever, you think is right. And people who are meant to be for you will stay with you and they will always understand. And if this is a sign, if a person you have said once, twice, three times is not happy with your boundaries, then just back off. That person is not meant for you. And don't feel guilty. You have tried, you've done your best, move on. And if they don't understand, I think that's a God sign. So that's the best possible solution I find, that it's to do it.
Also, because of our upbringing, I believe, anyways, the cultural programming is such that we will be made to feel guilty. Aap boundary set karo to guilty, nahi set karo to guilty. So that's how for Charu to be in such a situation, instead of acknowledging her efforts to be able to, clearly communicate her stance, she somewhere has that guilt because that's the upbringing, that's how it's been. So we have to undo that programming, and that is done by gradually building that muscle and being okay. I'm okay. Just for once tell yourself that it is okay to disappoint others once in a while, and just make yourself happy. I think let's start with that.
Slow process. It comes slowly, but start doing it. I think that is where it's coming, that is why we've chosen this topic as self-worth, because self-worth ही हमें सिखाया नहीं जाता, and no blame to anyone, because even our mothers didn't knew that. They were not taught, especially being, अगर women की बात की जाए तो we've been taught like that कि भी हमें हमेशा देना ही है
और adjust करते रहना है endlessly.
I always feel that few of these topics should be introduced in school's curriculum. Because, ये बहुत बाद में जाके we start working on it, but अगर इसको starting से, and for the present generation and the coming one, it is even more required, right? So I think if they introduce it in the school curriculum, it's going to be great for people to actually
It's actually irony, right? Career skills, they teach it to everyone. Not everybody has a career, but everybody has to live a life, but they don't teach the life skills.
Absolutely.
We have realizing this, right? You can, the people who, like, if we look back to grandmothers, they were not like academically educated, but they were had much more wisdom.
Yes.
So end of the day, what you need is more life skills, which we are not taught in our education system. The life skills, how to handle things.
Right. And I think this is the biggest setback for our generations. We have studied so many books and we feel that we are educated, but rather we are uneducated in terms of life. Our grandmothers, they knew better how to handle the household situations. And now when we get married and all the things happen, we are like, ki karna kya hai? And people point you out, यार इतनी पढ़ी लिखी है तू कोई solution निकाल, है ना? And you're like, इसमें मेरे books में थोड़ा लिखा है, how do I find the solution?
Actually, we are in that sandwich wale mein beech mein, no?
Exactly.
So here's one generation, that's the second one, and we are like the mid one. So
Yeah.
But
I think that is why this topic is so interesting, is to understand your, you know, your self-worth. ये एक बड़ा बड़ा word आ रहा है, you know, and then which we don't know, which is not a new word. We all know, you know, what self-worth is, and you should. But again, we've lost it somewhere. So I think it's a time to, you know, regain it back and
We have
understand
another
what our self-worth
question.
is.
We
Yeah.
have a question in the chat box.
Yeah, Ashu has sent in a message. It says, whenever I fight for the right thing with any elder, in spite of the fact that I have raised voice for the right thing, still after that I feel guilty for their happiness. I gave up. Exactly.
Again, this is the, you know, the coding we have been brought
Yeah.
up with.
I think, see,
Yes,
the
in
time when we start placing ourselves sometimes in life ahead of everyone, that's when also this comes in picture. So कभी कभी ठीक है, खुद को आगे रखना भी जरूरी है. And the way
Exactly.
Vaishali said कि the way you communicate it, that makes a difference. So
So
वो guilt
what I
feeling,
feel, yeah.
guilt
Yeah,
और
feeling
एक
I
और
can
बात,
agree.
another thing is that we are not responsible for other people's happiness. No matter what you do to make others happy, they can still choose to be unhappy, no matter the efforts you put in to make them happy. So once you recognize this fact, just be okay. We have to be okay by disappointing people, that it is okay to disappoint people. I'm okay with disappointing people now. I really, at this stage of my life, I'm okay with disappointing people, because I've realized no matter what I do, I cannot make everyone happy. So when I have told myself that it is okay to disappoint people, I have lesser guilt, and that's my personal tried and tested tip.
And what I
And
feel about it is that what is right for me is not necessarily right for them. Right? Your right and wrong comes from your beliefs. For somebody, for your parents, belief system is different. It comes from society they have grown up in. And now we have grown up in an independent society where we believe that we can ask for it. If we ask from the perspective of our mothers, it's a crime. When you say you prioritize yourself, you set boundaries, you're hurting the culture of the family, right? So कभी कभी चीजें ऐसे हो जाती हैं जहाँ पे we are struck because we value our parents, है ना? Somewhere everybody else we can fight, but when it's about your parents, then you feel कि नहीं, I can't be that rude to them. So there you have to have a fine line, what you can accept and what you cannot. Another thing is that when they are in power, right now, if you don't have power over your own life, you cannot take the decisions. As simple as that. जिसकी power है वो decision लेगा. If they are running the household, they are running your career, they are running your life, then they will decide for you. It's important that you rise to that level where they feel that now you have grown up enough and you might be having a right opinion. पेरेंट्स के लिए तो हम बच्चे ही हैं, है ना? दे विल बी लाइक कि तुम्हें समझ नहीं है, मुझे समझ है, इवन इफ यू आर सेइंग द राइट थिंग. सो इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी राइज टू अ लेवल वेयर दे फील कि हाँ, ये लाइफ में कुछ कर रहा है, इसको समझ आ गई, सो दे स्टार्ट टेकिंग यू सीरियसली. सो दैट्स व्हेन यू अ कम्युनिकेशन कैन एक्चुअली हैपन. बिफोर दैट उनके लिए आप आज भी वो 5 साल के बच्चे ही हो, है ना? सो दे वुड बी लाइक तुम्हें नहीं पता, मुझे पता है. सो फाइटिंग इज नॉट गोना हेल्प देयर, व्हाट आई फील, बिकॉज एक ऐसा रिलेशनशिप है जो आप छोड़ भी नहीं सकते हो.
Right.
I think I feel more like कि जैसे ना वो, there is like a you know, like an example of like you have a notebook where you have things written what your parents have taught you कि ऐसे करना है, and then you are thinking कि इस sentence को update कैसे किया जाए. So you have to literally update all those things you have been taught, and
yeah,
certain things let go of कि okay ठीक है, yeah, I know what you have taught me, but then now this is another version of like जैसे फोन को अपडेट करते हैं, you know, the same apps and the same things, but they change. As soon as the new iOS comes, you know, you update your app, it shows different colors, it's done differently, it's more smoother, and all those kind of things. I think that's how we ourselves are. You have to learn to update yourself accordingly, and then I think it's the best way to move on to that.
Yeah. And I think,
yes,
just adding one point to this, if we understand that anyone who's come in our life, it's a journey with them. So they have come to teach us something. So
yes,
if we take it like that, it is going to solve the problem to a great extent कि ठीक है मेरी mother-in-law ऐसे behave करती है तो this is what she's come in my life to teach me this कि ऐसे भी हो सकता है, right? And some way or the other she's connected to my husband, so I love my husband, so in a way I'm connected to her. So if we take the relationship that ways, I think it works great for our peace of mind.
Sometimes we have to make choices in life, but we are struck कि we don't want to disappoint our parents, but मुझे जो चाहिए वो भी मुझे बहुत बुरी तरह से चाहिए, मैं उस पर भी compromise नहीं कर सकती. But everything has consequences, right? So we have to compare the situation whether at this situation I want to choose them or choose the thing that I want. And once you make the choice, you have to value that. हम लोग choice भी चाहते हैं, but हम consequences भी bear नहीं करना चाहते. It's like if you have a cultural belief, for example, I am a vegetarian. So if I don't like non-vegetarian, you cannot convince me. Right? So it's same, somewhere you are hitting on a belief of your parents that they're not ready to change. It's their choice. Either you bear the consequences, take a decision and prove it right, or you bear the consequences of choosing your parents' choice of being a good girl and go with what happens with your life. I think that answers your question, Ash.
Any more questions, anyone?
She has added up to a question.
What's the decision? You have to make a choice for yourself, Ashu. You have to choose for yourself. And whatever you choose for yourself will be the best for you.
And some way or the other, your question is a comprehensive answer of all the topics that we took today, that we covered today, because the moment you understand your self-worth, you overcome your limiting belief, you create that boundary for yourself. That's how you gain the confidence of taking the first step in life. So the moment and it is one step at a time. So I think if we start working with one step at a time, then definitely there are things that you can convey to anyone in this world.
And also sometimes people understand later. बहुत सी चीजें होती हैं हमें उस टाइम समझ में नहीं आती है. We just fight कि नहीं हो रहा, क्यों नहीं हो रहा, I want it like that, but later we realize कि जो हुआ अच्छे के लिए हुआ. So when you will take a step for yourself, maybe कि वो आज गुस्सा दिखाते हैं, नाराज दिखाते हैं, right? But tomorrow if you are confident in your decision, they will also believe it. Because ultimately they do love you and they want the best for you. Right now, they may not be able to see from your lens, but once you prove yourself, then it would be another thing that you prove that your decision was right, then they will come along. Think we are done. First step is always difficult. Yeah, that's the beginning of everything. Then everything just comes. Next year will keep coming. Yeah. I think actually you also need to watch the recording. You missed most of the session, so I think the session itself will answer many questions for you. Just watch the recording, and if you have any further question, you can reach out to any of the coaches from the panel. We'll be there to help you.
So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for that amazing discussion and all of yours active participation.